3 states away from our city. I had informed my wife about this 3 days prior. She seemed upset at first, but later, after a quick visit to Dave's cafe, she returned with a smile. That upset me more. Also, that night, I overheard her and Dave talking and planning to go somewhere together. She was surprised to see me there and cut the call abruptly. I acted like I didn't hear a single thing, although I was fuming and plotting inside. I went on the trip as casually as I could with Tessa and 2 other colleagues. Our company had provided us with separate rooms with room service. My mind was filled with revenge plans, and I decided that if my wife was enjoying herself, then so should I. The city we went to is famous for its nightlife, so my plan was to complete my work for the day and go out. Then I'd likely bring a girl to our room, and you know what'd be next. So I completed my work, changed into casuals, checked out, and went to the bar where I proceeded to chug down a few shots for a good half hour. I could see some girl eyeing me in my peripheral vision, and I took it to be my to-go moment. As I was about to approach her, I noticed Tessa walk in and spot me. I temporarily abandoned my plan and walked up to her. We decided to sit down and keep drinking. After some more shots in, Tessa asked me how I felt about the whole situation. I didn't even attempt to hold back. We both agreed that they had to be cheating. We decided to just plaster it and worry about it later. After some more drinks, Tessa began to get really touchy. She would rest her hand on my thigh and break my personal bubble repeatedly. I was hesitant at first, but after remembering my plot for revenge, I decided I would entertain it. Eventually, I started teasing her, which led to me getting closer and closer to her face. Right before things could escalate any further, we were distracted by a bunch of frantic calls from our colleagues. They were pissed about how we didn't submit our projects in time and how the boss had been fuming at both of us. We were confused since we thought we were done for the night. We tried to call in our other colleagues, but they didn't even budge. Alas, my plan fell short, and we had to go back to our rooms. Luckily, the hotel we were staying at was just 10 minutes away from the bar, and we intended to return to the bar as soon as we were done with our work. All while walking, I was sulking about how I couldn't get to execute my plan yet. Tessa and I split up to our rooms and agreed to meet back up after we finished seeing what was going on. The moment I opened the door to my room, there was my wife, all smiles, who then yelled a big surprise. Before I had a chance to know what the hell was happening, she shoved something in front of my face. I just got to recognize the 2 red lines and the switches just clicked. I don't know what happened next, but all I could remember is both of us hugging and crying tears of joy. My wife was pregnant. I forgot all about my suspicions, all about my plans, that chick in the bar and Tessa. I hugged my wife as long as I could and kissed her belly several times. That night, we had an amazing intimate session, and my wife was back in my arms. The next morning, Dave and Tessa congratulated us and informed us they were now engaged. We went on a double date right after. Tessa and I didn't bring up the previous night at all. It seemed as if we agreed that while something could have happened, nothing really happened. Later, my wife apologized to me for ignoring me knowingly and keeping secrets. She explained how she and Dave were just planning to surprise me with the news of pregnancy and Tessa with a marriage proposal. Also, she personally apologized for resisting my advances as she was insecure about her body and scared of hurting the baby. And man, I felt like a gallon of ice-cold water was thrown on my face. Never in my life was I as ashamed as I am now for even doubting this woman. We spent the rest of the week enjoying ourselves to the fullest, visiting different places, and shopping for some baby clothes. We're now back to our normal lives. While I'm the happiest with my wife's pregnancy, I'm still ashamed of my thoughts. God knows what would have happened and where I would be now if my wife had caught me with Tessa that night. On one hand, I want to tell my wife everything, but on the other hand, I'm scared of her reaction and the possible effects on our baby. I love this woman. She's my wife, and I want to spend my life with her, taking care of her until the end. Please tell me if it'll be a good thing to just lay myself bare to her or hold my tongue for as long as I can.